Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Ibu Shazlin binti Ibu Abdul Latif. I'm from Group N5P A11448. This slide presentation will be prepared for Dr. Hazra Muhammad Nasir. In this slide, I will explain about components of transportation. So, I choose air transportation because that sounds very interesting to add as my new knowledge. So, in this slide, I will explain about the introduction, the characteristics, issues and challenges, the policies, and also the case study. So, the introduction of air transport is the transportation of individuals and products by aircraft in the form of airplanes, helicopters, and drones. It is significant to the transport system as it allows high-speed, long-range transportation and delivery of valuable and time-sensitive products. In this case of business, air transport also takes a short time than sea and road transport on transit, yet is very costly. It also facilitates international trade through export and imports, which adds to the growth of the economy and connectivity. So, the characteristic of air transportation is high speed. This is the fastest mode of transportation, thus reducing transit time significantly. This can save time in delivering of freight or on the way for travel because this is the best option without having to stop like road transport. Other than that, air transport also hires operating costs that includes cost of fuel, maintenance, skill labor, and airport fee. So for having a good air transport, we need a high capital to build a good airplane that can accommodate how many passengers and goods according to the rules that have been set by Malaysia Airlines. However, this mode of transport also need a good infrastructure, so it will be easier for pilot to control airplane safely. For example, landing area, cargo terminal, and air traffic from which sure every flight goes smoothly. Next, extensive airport network it has a wide network of airports such as international, domestic, and rural landing fields which are utilized within the major cities and remote areas in Sabah and Sarawak and the peninsula. The advantages of air transportation is dispatch nearly everywhere your freight, where others methods of transport will not be easily accessible. Air transport is seen to be able sole mode of transport, totally accessible all territories regardless of land encroachment. Many airlines can access a large network of airlines operating almost throughout the entire world. This makes the package to be sold sent nearly anywhere. Other than that, high standard of security, good quality of protection having minimal chance of robbery and injury. Air transport is associated with high level of security airport. Limitation on cargo safety are strictly followed. Strict security in the airports also reduce cargo theft and loss. Moreover, natural roads, a plane can fly anywhere without preserving any natural impediments and barriers. Custom formalities are easily collected since they are easily complied. It removes the necessity of using more time to obtain clearance. Relief mission during an earthquake, floods, accidents, and fires are performed by air travel. Lastly, the punctual can operate on fixed schedules and is supported by advanced navigation system. Air traffic, air traffic control and strict operational procedures. This system helps ensure that flights depart and arrive on time with minimal disruption. Next, the disadvantages of transportation is high of-cost transportation. Air transport is more expensive than other road, sea, or rail transportation. This mode transport need a high fuel cost and their maintenance expenses. After that, some product limitation the amount of unsuitable batteries that cannot be transported in such product is a wide variety of batteries, including explosive gases, batteries, high solids and liquids, and so on, which cannot safely be shipped by air. Capacity for small carriage aircraft do not have space and thus are not suitable to carry bulky and less expensive stuff. The load volume cannot be increased, as is the case of rails. Lastly, with numerous investment, the cost of air travel also demands large expenditure in constructing and maintaining aerodromes. It also requires qualified, professional and qualified personnel that require a large investment. Air transport operates on fixed schedules and is supported by advanced navigation system, air traffic control, and strict operational procedures. These systems help ensure that flights depart and arrive on time with minimal disruption. The next slide is infrastructure and networks for air transportation. The infrastructure in Malaysia is that have 6 international airports, which is Kuala Lumpur, Langkawi, Kuching, Penang, Kota Kinabalu, and Senai. 16 domestic airports that serve regional and domestic flights across Malaysia. 18 short take-off and landing ports, which is that provide access to remote and rural areas. Facilities at airports, which is runways, terminals, cargo facilities, air traffic controls, and maintenance service. So the network is hub and spoke system at major airports, such as KLIA, Kota Kinabalu, act as hubs. Domestic connectivity in smaller airports and short take-off and landing ports for regional travel. International connectivity, major hubs connect Malaysia to global destinations. Efficient passenger and cargo movement that ensure integration of domestic and international routes. The next is policy for air transportation. First one, Civil Aviation Authority Malaysia (CAAM), that regulatory body responsible for aviation safety oversight, flight operation regulation. Second is Civil Aviation Act 1969, that governs civil aviation on empowering authorities to enforce aviation regulation and thus issue licenses and certificates. Furthermore, the issues and challenges of air transportation is operational disruptions and technical issues. Shortage of spares or spare parts and skilled manpower have to lead flight cancellation, rescheduling, and emergency landings. This disruption reduces operational reliability and affect passengers' confidence. Second, flight delays and cancellation. Passengers' complaints reported by MEFCOM mainly focus on frequent flight delays and cancellations, particularly affecting Malaysia Airlines. This issue negatively impacts customer satisfaction and service quality. Third is financial challenges. Airlines face financial pressure due to high operational costs, maintenance expenses, and competitive pricing. These challenges affect profitability and long-term sustainability. Lastly, the safety concern that the aviation industry continues to face scrutiny over safety incidents and accidents, requiring strict compliance with safety regulation and continuous monitoring. Stakeholders of air transportation is Government or Ministry of Transport (MOT), which is that formulates aviation policies and oversees the aviation sector. Civil Aviation Authority (CAAM), which is that regulates aviation safety, licensing, airworthiness, and air traffic control. Aviation Economic Regulator (AECOM), that manage road allocation, competition, pricing oversight, and passengers' rights. Aviation Training Institution, which is trained pilots, engineers, cabin crew, and controllers. Passengers also is the main users of air transport services. And lastly, cargo customers and logistic companies that use air transport for freight and express delivery. The case study of air transportation is focuses on the determinants of satisfaction of the airline industry in Malaysia, basing on the Malaysia airline system MAS, servicing both domestic and international flight service. Air transportation is an essential part of sustaining the Malaysian economic activity and depends on the effective coordination of the industry elements with the stakeholders, which include Malaysian Aviation Commission (MAVCOM), the organisation in charge of the economic regulation and strategy in the impacts of efficiency and effectiveness is first, service quality and brand reputation. The quality of air transport services directly affects the efficiency and effectiveness of airlines' operations. Persistent delays and poor customer service. When service quality is not well maintained, the airline may lose customer trust, leading to decreased loyalty. Second, pricing strategy and operational performance. Competitive and well-managed pricing strategies can increase passengers' demand, improve aircraft load factors, and enhance revenue generation. However, poor pricing decisions may reduce passengers' numbers or fail to cover operational costs. So, the next is issues and challenges. Flight delays and passenger dissatisfaction because of long waiting times can cause frustration and dissatisfaction among passengers. Delay may occur due to adverse weather conditions, aircraft maintenance requirements which negatively impact the airline's service quality and reputation. Lastly, price sensitivity and profitability challenges, which is airfares are highly competitive, and passengers often choose airlines based on price. This limits profit margin, especially when operational costs such as fuel and maintenance. Airlines face challenges in balancing affordable ticket price while maintaining sustainable revenue and covering operational expenses. In conclusion, air transport is very important in linking the country's trade, tourism, and economic growth. It is greatly dependent on the interplay of the stakeholders such as airlines, airports, and passengers. A good coordination between these elements leads to improved operational performance, safety, and quality of service. Nevertheless, issues like high operation costs, environmental issues can affect efficiency. So, that's all from me. Thank you.